What's up, YouTube, Steemit, other cryptocurrency community friends, Facebook, Vote, voat.co. By the way, if you don't know about Vote, you should check it out. It's basically Reddit, but without all the censorship, government bullshit. Most of it. I mean, there's still trolls on there and shills and whatnot, but vote.co is pretty cool. voat.co. Check it out. I'm loving Steemit. I'm having a ball on Steemit. There's some cool stuff on there. I don't really know. Some of the songs I recorded are apparently making money. I'm not really sure. There's a dollar amount and a dollar sign there. I don't know what that all means or how that works. I haven't really played with Steemit very much yet. But overall, I'm liking the content. I'm liking the community. I'm liking the way it's set up. I don't know why, but it seems to be a lot less spammy, repetitive. The way Facebook is curated and the way my Facebook feed is curated is just not very... it's not nearly as interesting as my Steemit feed already, so it's kind of interesting. And Vote, too. Vote is a little bit slow to move. It's not as popular as Reddit. There's not as many people on there, so you're not getting as much... you're not getting as much stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, so let's have some of that good old intangible coin talk, huh? Trayvon? Is that his name? Trayvon James? I've been following that guy on YouTube for a while. Really interesting guy. Well, I like his cryptocurrency discussions. I've been doing the Genesis mining thing too. He went to the actual Genesis mining place in Iceland. Pretty awesome. I've been thinking about mining here because I've done IT for years, and I could probably put together a little bit of scratch and buy some video cards and maybe start doing some mining. But yeah, let's talk about cryptocurrency. Everything's down. Almost everything's down. I think DOT went up a little bit. DOT coin. It's kind of a silly coin. It's just from one vendor, and I don't even know much about DOT. So, but in my portfolio of cryptocurrencies that I've been playing with, it's the only one that's up. So this week, the funny thing is, people are freaking out. You know, Bitcoin lost I don't know, almost $1,000 in the last 3 weeks or something, but I'm still up like 5% over last month. So, you know, okay, so that early June bubble where Bitcoin hit 3,000 relatively quickly. I mean, the escalation was way too fast for me. Although I'd love to see the price of Bitcoin go up, it just happened a little bit too quickly. Anytime anything goes that quickly, it's usually going to end up not that great for everybody. Yeah, so the price dropped back down to 2,300, and a lot of people are freaking out, like, oh my god, you know, Bitcoin lost, I don't know, what is that, $700 out of 3,000? What's the percentage there? A significant percentage of its value just instantly gone, pretty much, when that crash happened. And Ethereum crashed even harder. I guess at one point Ethereum was selling for $12 or something, $3 I heard at one point. It's crazy. That's, you know, Ethereum's been worth over 200 for a long time now, so I'm not really sure. Well, a couple months. That's the funny thing. People talk about cryptocurrency and the cryptocurrency market and what's a long time. And a long time in this industry is, you know, 3 weeks. Oh man, that was the ice ages, you know, 3 weeks ago when Bitcoin was $3,000. It's like, no, that was 3 weeks ago, you know. Most people, their job only get paid once a month, you know. I've been tracking this stuff since on and off a little bit since 2012. Man, I'm bummed and disappointed that my ex-father-in-law talked me out of buying Bitcoin in 2012, because otherwise I'd probably be a millionaire now. Instead, I went and bought silver, which at the time was $33 an ounce, and it's currently $17 an ounce. So always take investment advice from other people, particularly older people who have no idea what the hell is going on in the world, obviously. Yeah, so, you know, but you got to kind of take the long game here, and that's, you know, what all the real Bitcoin enthusiasts have been saying, you know, take the long road, you know, buy a little bit, hold on to it, look at it for a few months, see how the price goes up and down, check it out. and go from there. And if you feel like, hey, the price has gone up a lot, I'm making more money on this than I am on the stock market. The stock market, you can't make money on the stock market. I mean, you can. It's hard though, and you really got to know your stuff. I've been playing the stock market for the last couple of years too, and buying and selling stocks on rumors, and just on looking at the metrics of what company is worth how much money and why, and whether that's undervalued or overvalued, and I made some money, but I mean it's pathetic. I can't remember what I think I've only put like $500 cash into the stock market initially, something like that. I'm gonna play with this amount of money. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was less, $450, something like that. I had a certain amount of cash at the time, and I said I'm just gonna start playing the stock market a little bit. And I got the Robinhood app. Highly recommend the Robinhood app. I've been very happy playing around with that. So I'm up. I am up on the stock market compared to I definitely have more than 450. I've probably doubled my money in the last 3 years, but that's with some very smart moves on my part. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I bought Tesla when it was very undervalued after I can't remember exactly what happened, but something to do with the governance of Consumer Reports, where like General Motors or somebody ended up owning a vested interest in Consumer Reports, and then Consumer Reports had this basically a hit piece on Tesla, and so the Tesla stock dropped, and I was like, well, wait a minute, a competitor had a vested interest in the publication, and then their stock dropped. That's maybe not an indication that company's not worth as much. It's more an indication of now's a good time to buy, basically, is how I looked at that. So I went and I bought Tesla stock at that time, and then of course a couple months later, Tesla still makes the best car in the world. I mean, almost everybody says that Tesla is the best production car sold right now, for less than $1 million or whatever. I mean, I don't know if you want to compare it with the Bugatti or whatever, but it's apples and oranges anyway. And then the Tesla price went really high. I can't remember exactly how high it went, and so I sold it. I bought it really low, and then I sold it really high, and then it went down again. And at that point, it went down for almost no reason. I couldn't find a reason why it went down. I couldn't, I think there were a couple of articles talking about how Tesla shouldn't be worth as much as Ford or GM because they don't sell as many cars and this and that, But there was nothing strongly indicating to me that there had been an actual change in the value of Tesla. It was just more like a change in the perception of the value of Tesla. So I went and bought again when it was low, and now Tesla's way back up, and I'm just sitting on it now. I don't want to. I could sell now and wait for it to dip again and buy again and make more money buying and selling Tesla stock. That's how I made the bulk of my money on the stock market, is just Tesla stock. I mean, because it's so funny. They make the world's best car. Right now, they make the world's best car. And when the stock drops or when anything happens with the stock, I mean, Elon Musk is on fire. All of his companies are on fire. Solar City, is now part of Tesla. But, I mean, even before they were a part of Tesla, they were on fire. They were installing solar panels all over the place, getting all kinds of stuff done. Tesla's obviously on fire. They've had the best car on the market for 5 years now, I think, at least, maybe longer. And now they're about to come out with the Model 3 too. It's like, Tesla's on fire. Model X, man, I wish I could afford a Model X. I could. If I sold everything, I could go buy a Model X, but and I don't know how good of a value that is right now for me. I'm happy with the car I got. I got a Lexus hybrid SUV, and it's a very good car, very reasonable. The APR that I got on my loan for this thing is so low. I wanted to get another car loan, go buy Bitcoin. I don't know if I want to go to. I don't like to take out money to make money. That's kind of scary. I mean, of all the reasons to take out money, that's probably one of the better reasons. But yeah. So you can make money on the stock market, but boy, it's hard. Whereas with cryptocurrency, you wait for the Bitcoin price to crash, which right now it's crashed. 2,300 has crashed. I would be very surprised if it ever goes back under $2,000 again. I mean, significant. It might make it to $2,000, maybe. I'm kind of doubting it. I don't think it's ever going to go back under $2,000. I think it will go back over $3,000, probably before the end of the summer. And I think it's going to stay over $3,000. Probably by the end of this year, you won't see Bitcoin under $3,000 again. There's some things happening, you know, obviously July 31st, August 1st, they're doing they might do the SegWit thing. Basically right now, Bitcoin transactions are limited because there's so many people using it, and updating the ledger globally is taking way more time and computer power than it's worth. So the transfer fees and everything else, it's, you know, there's serious problems with Bitcoin right now, which I think are also inhibiting its price. But those are looking to get fixed July 31st, August 1st. We'll see how that SegWit, if the SegWit X2 proposal is as good as some of the experts are saying it is, and it works, and it gets adopted, and it doesn't you know, devalue Bitcoin at all, which I think a lot of people are hopeful that it won't. Then at that point, you know, we're going to be back on our race to the moon, you know. I'm hoping the slow and steady race to the moon. I don't like when Bitcoin jumps up $1,000 in a couple of days, because if it can jump up $1,000 in a couple of days, it can drop $1,000 in a couple of days the same way, and which is what we just experienced here in June. But yeah, I mean, now's the time to buy. You know what I mean? Buy now, because it's gonna go up again. I think most likely. Oh, by the way, I don't give investment advice or financial advice ever, because that's your business. I don't want people coming back to me in 10 years being like, "You told me not to buy silver, and silver's worth $50 an ounce now." Man, buy whatever the hell you want. Invest however you want. I'm telling you my take on the market that I'm thinking about for myself, for my kids' future. And unfortunately for me, I have all my money tied up in stuff already, or I would be buying more Bitcoin, more Ethereum Classic. I think Ethereum Classic's undervalued right now. I think that's a pretty cool currency, ETC. I think there's some positive fundamentals to that one, and it's, you know, it's $17 right now for a coin. So buy 10 of those, that's $170. If it goes over $20, you've made money. You know what I mean? If it goes over $18, you've made money. And if it ends up being like, you know, one of the de facto coins and standards that people rely on, it's been around for a long time. It's obviously not broken in any way. I trust it a little bit more than Ethereum, and, you know, at least mentally, psychologically. The way that Ethereum's pegged to startups is kind of scary to me. You know, what's the percentage of startups that fail? 90%? Higher? And Ethereum